Roger, thank you for being here, for doing this, first off. So we go into inspection for pole day on Sunday. 2 of your cars fail. They're sent to the back of the field. What is your response as we head into the biggest race in the world, the one that means so much to you?
Well, Jamie, I would say that I'm totally disappointed with the outcome, certainly on Sunday. I really have to go back 4.5 years ago when we bought the Speedway, and I said, number one, that I would invest capital, I'd get the best people, and we take the series, IMSP, and certainly Indianapolis Motor Speedway to higher levels. I think we've done that. Then I look at my right hand and say, what about Team Penske? And when I think about Team Penske, we really have had an organization failure 2 times, not once, but 2 times. And believe me, it hurts me in my gut when you think about it. But I look at it this way, that there's a certain amount of credibility you have to have. It's integrity, individually and collectively, our team, the sport. And I think we let people down. I've made some management changes we announced today, and I think we'll move on, and our goal is to win the race this coming weekend.
Roger, when you own the series, you compete in the series with 3 teams, and you own Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There's some people out there that say it's a conflict of interest. How do you respond to that?
Well, I've heard the word used, optics, and I would say this, that as I look at my response to that and what my MO has been over the last 4.5 years, I've not been on a pit box. I've not been in race control. I'm not in inspection. And I have nothing to do with officiating, and especially the rules. So, number one, I can look myself in the mirror and say, I've done the right thing. Obviously, we have not done a good job in the optics for people outside this, and these 2 violations, you would call them, certainly show the fact that I need to be more diligent on where we're going as a team. And certainly I would challenge, if we go back and look what we've tried to accomplish and what we have, we made a lot of progress, but I think this independency is very important as we go forward for the credibility of the series, the teams, and everyone else, the fans that follow INDYCAR.
So along those lines, it was your own officiating body that found the modifications and penalized your teams. Would you be open to an independent officiating body to govern the INDYCAR series? So to your point, it changes the outside optics?
Well, it's amazing that you'd ask that question. For probably the last 6 months, we've talked internally as INDYCAR, Mark Miles, and now, of course, Doug Bowles, and some outside input on how we could become more independent from the operational side of the racing, inspection, race control, et cetera. So we certainly expect, and I would expect, that the team at INDYCAR and PE will take a look at that, and we'll take some action as we go forward.
You know, obviously the failure has made a lot of news, and there's people out there that want to see more penalties. They say that those 2 cars shouldn't even be able to compete on Sunday in the Indy 500. What's your response to that?
Well, I don't agree. Number one, those cars went through inspection on Saturday, got the sticker, they performed in the top 12, and were available to run on Sunday. From that point on, there was a question about our cars on Sunday. We actually pulled the cars and did not make a run because of the question from the officials. But as far as I'm concerned, they earned the right to be in the 109th running of the Indy 500.
There was one question out there. There were photos circulating that showed that Joseph Newgarden's Indy 500 winning car from last year had the same modifications done to the attenuator that these 2 cars did. Is that true?
Well, I would say this, yes. I would say we had 9 attenuators that were modified by Dallara back at the beginning of 2024, and those have been rotated through the cars over the last 15 months. We also had newer ones that we bought, and those have been in the same batch. And that's why you see that McLaughlin didn't have an issue with his car. And from my perspective, when you think about the attenuators and what happened there, my question to you is, what would we do? We know that the situation was not right from the standpoint from the officials on Sunday. But when I go back to 2024, that car was taken apart piece by piece in detail following the race, and it was said to be completely legal for the win.
So what do you have to say, Roger, to the fans that have heard the news, to your fellow competitors, team owners, to ensure that this won't happen again?
Well, Jamie, I just had a call with all the team owners to go through the process, through my thinking about what action I've taken, because people have come to me and said, you're supposed to be a leader of the sport, and here you have these two situations. And I think the integrity of the sport, I didn't help it any. From my perspective, what I have to do, and I told this to the team owners, I've got to take the role on, along with the Penske Entertainment leadership, and gain back that credibility, because I know this is the Speedway here this weekend. It's a world-class event, the best racing event in the world, and the last thing I want to do is tarnish it with any kind of issues from the standpoint of any inspection or any rules violation. So, my thinking is we got to make it better. I have to help do that in a way that I'm not affecting anything beneficial for our team.
Well, to your point, Roger, putting all this aside, we are looking to the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday, and we expect a crowd larger than we've seen in years. What does this moment, this weekend, mean to Roger Penske?
Well, it was start of a journey back 5 years ago when I got a call from Tony George to talk about the future, not knowing that he was going to talk about possibly selling the assets of the Speedway, the Series, and IMSP. It didn't take me 20 seconds to say I'm interested. I put my hand up, I'm interested. But to step back and see the progress that we've been able to make over the last 4 years, and more importantly, it's not me, it's the people. We call it the human capital, have made so much difference here at the Speedway. The people that have joined us in INDYCAR and IMSP have hit the ball out of the park. And we're going to have one of the greatest races we've ever had here. We've been sold out here now for a few days. But more importantly, it's Memorial Day, where we celebrate the men and women who defend our country, along with the first responders, to make it safe and secure. And when that flyover goes by and you see those bands, I'll be the proudest guy in the stands.
Thank you.